I've spent the last half hour trying to write this out in a way that feels comprehensive, but I really can't express how truly confused I am in my life right now. I'm not sure what I want to do for money when I become an adult, and I feel like I'm the only person who hasn't come up with an idea of what they want yet. My older sister knew right away what she wanted to be and did everything she had to do in order to achieve that, while I've spent the last few years of my life playing video games and drawing for fun. I love the idea of becoming an artist, but my grades in school are slipping because of how much I neglect my assignments, and I feel like I might flunk out of school. I'm so scared for my future, and I don't know what I can even do to fix it. I wish I can go back to when most of my worries were what my elementary school classmates called me. Checkpoint. Checkpoint. I'm currently 17 in my senior year of high school. I've had a rough life, being frequently bullied, mostly due to my poor social skills and how much I cried. I've always been an easy target. It doesn't help that later in life I was diagnosed with autism and depression. I could always find peace by playing video games and watching anime though. They allowed me to escape from the pain of life. In 10th grade, I was blackmailed into having horrific acts done to me over and over, and if I refused, they threatened to do what they did to me to a good friend of mine. I don't want to go into the details of it, but I am forever physically and mentally scarred over it. To this day, I am still genuinely scared of talking to most men face to face. I feel like all that trauma made me lose focus on who I am. Even if I'm now physically stronger and able to defend myself easier, I still am so weak mentally. I constantly change personalities depending on who I'm with because I want to make others like me. I've done this for so long and I don't know which parts are true and which aren't. I don't really know where my life is going. It's like I'm stuck. I'm going to spend the next few days figuring out who I truly am and trying to stay true to that person. Checkpoint. I just turned 20 a little over a week ago, and already it seems like everything is slowly going downhill. I recently came out as trans to my family, and I already feel like I'm losing most of my extended family. People either stop speaking to me, refuse to call me by the name I've chosen for myself, or it feels like they're reluctant to really even try. I don't think my self-esteem has been any lower. I haven't had a day off from work in 2 weeks, and I'm really not used to this. I really hoped this virus would be over by now. I dropped out of college because I wasn't able to pass with the online distance learning. Now it seems like I'm going to have to wait even longer. It's Thanksgiving and I'm going to see family soon. I'm likely to get misgendered and dead named all night. Maybe it's not important, but it makes me so upset. Let's hope for a better future. Checkpoint. I'm 15 and feel like I'm drowning. Every day, I spend most of my time daydreaming about stuff that isn't real and only exists in my imagination. I can't help it. Whenever I try to motivate myself to focus on important stuff in the real world, I'm just not able to. I feel like I'm pushing away the few friends that I have, instead just being on my own and dreaming. Whenever something huge happens in my life now, I can't deal with it. I just retract into my head and block out the world. Everyone around me is sure about what they want to be when they finish school, while I still haven't got a clue and constantly feel lost. I feel as if I've never actually belonged here at all. I really need to start helping myself. Checkpoint. I'm tired. Years ago, I watched my grandfather die on his deathbed. His family was around him, but he was still alone. He left a lot of negative things behind. I watched this man die in the most sad way. His soul was alone. It scared me. It sent me down a path of self-reflection that led me on a journey. I put away the childish things and left my grandparents' house behind in search of a better fate than his. It led to horrible things. I have been through the worst things I couldn't wish upon my worst enemy. Somehow I climbed through it all, beat and hurt, yes, but I'm still breathing and in a better place. I still have challenges ahead of me. Sometimes I crack, I get into funks, but I always seem to pull myself through. I'm exhausted and the road is still long. Figure I stop by and record my progress. Checkpoint. All of my friends that are like brothers to me are moving on, pursuing their dreams, getting jobs, and etc. 2 of them are the most important people in my life. One recently got a job, so we don't have much time to spend together, and the other one is going to move to a far city. Even though I feel sad about all of this, I'm kinda excited to be alone again. Maybe it's the feeling of wanting to start something new, but I don't know for sure. But I'm also afraid. A lot. It's been a rough year regarding school, and each day that passes, I question myself about what I want to do in life. I don't have a dream, nor will, of doing anything besides watching anime and reading manga. It's really a bunch of fear, excitement, and sadness mixed up, and I don't know what to do with this. It's so confusing. I'm kinda lost. That's about it. Checkpoint. I've been doing a lot of fighting, I guess is the easiest way to put it. Not the kind that leaves physical scars. Not the kind that makes me tougher physically. I mean, I just had to fight a lot to get to where I am today. I've talked so many close friends down from ending their lives. I've co-opted harmful abusers from friend groups. I lost my father and the dog who helped me feel like a person after it. I don't think I've ever had a friend group last longer than a couple years, always drifting from one place to another. I've had a lot of fights to win, and sometimes it doesn't feel triumphant. Just all the hurt comes at once. But all the people I've helped still come by every so often to give me a kind hello, and that just makes it all worth it in the end. But I think one of the things that keeps me going the most, the fact that there are still people enjoying their life. But one is insignificant in one way, but to me is something I always think about. The time one of the people who I had to fight came up to me and said, "Sorry," and that they were in therapy now. I don't think I've ever had anyone apologize to me. It just makes the fights feel worth it to see the people who are around me go on to be happy, but sometimes I still feel like a drifter, I guess. Checkpoint. I'm still so young, 12 in fact. I don't feel 12. It feels so short yet so long. Every day feels like an eternity, yet I cannot remember any of it on demand. Such is the way the brain functions. I'm old enough to know the important things, yet too young to fully comprehend and accept them. Watching these videos incite a nostalgic feeling for a game I've never played or heard. Reflection how I feel about many aspects of my life. I'm too young to think about the future. It feels so distant. A person by themselves cannot feel their mind changing, progressing, advancing, and deteriorating over time. It simply takes too long, and you cannot compare your current mind to itself in order to get a good picture. It's like trying to comprehend another dimension. It's impossible. I know that in the future, I'm going to have to live on my own, maybe find love, try to do things I like, but I might not. These opportunities may never come. Maybe I'll never grow up. Maybe I'll never even make it to adulthood. But I love my sisters. I love my mother. I love my father. I love my friends. Whenever they're not too far away. I'm too much of a loner to be affected by the pandemic emotionally. Maybe even if something major happens to me, I won't think about it. Even now, I can tell that in the future, I might become too detached from my emotions. It feels like at any moment, they could just get up and leave. It feels daunting to even try to imagine the far future. What the world would be like with or without me. What I'll be doing then. What it will be like. I'll die one day. Everyone dies someday. There may be ways to delay it, but you cannot prevent the truly inevitable. It's likely I won't have a major impact on the world. I fear the future even. The knowledge that even if we stop aging genetically, the problems still arise. One of my biggest fears is getting dementia. Memories make who we are, and I am very afraid of the idea of me suddenly no longer having any. This is a letter to future me, the future Max, the future man I may be, maybe even in the next life, if there is one. And I'm glad you're reading this, whoever you are, having the wish to sit through my personal pain and my way to vent it. This has been Max, signing off. Checkpoint. I'm about to graduate high school and looking at pre-med programs near me, and I feel like I'll never get to med school, much less being a doctor. But every day that I come closer to graduation, I feel more hopeful that one day I will be where I want to be. I lost my dad when I was 14 and came out as transgender a couple of months after his diagnosis. I lost my family and all my friends at the time. I had to find a new family and new friends, and that sent me back so much in so many ways, but I didn't successfully end myself throughout it all. I've been addicted to pills and alcohol. I've been beaten for my gender/sexuality. I've been through verbal abuse from people who were supposed to love me unconditionally, and so much more, but I'm here and I'm ready to keep on going. I'm really happy I found this video. It's what I needed to help me push myself to keep trying my hardest and not just become a rotten depression potato in my bed. Checkpoint. You don't know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. Keep being creative and strong, especially in these crazy times. Make positive impacts because they do have ripples. Always be the best version of yourself. You have it in you. Everyone does, if they seek it out. Life has been unkind to me, as well as most people, but you never dwell on it, nor let it stop you. Instead, make as many positive ripples as you can, and this world will be a better place because of it. Things will get better, even if it might take a while. Hope you all have a good day.